Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for September 7th. The market just opened, and as you can see, we have a relatively large gap that occurred. We are looking for this next session to be between 109.93 and on the lower end around 105.21. Now I realize that this is a fairly large gap. Most likely the odds are, though, the probability is that it will close that gap prior to the end of the week. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these gaps now. The Euro USD pair, it also gapped up and is moving higher at this particular time. Don't know if that'll hold. I think that's just a gut reaction to these gaps, such large gaps as well. This pair has been moving down. The bias is to the downside. I'm looking for this session to be between 143.77 and also on the downside between 141.53. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. And looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair also gapped up, kind of gapped right into our range target. Obviously the range is going to be a little bit higher for this pair. I wouldn't expect it to go much higher than this particular high, so keep that in mind, around the 1.7975 area, and I wouldn't look for it to go too much lower than 174.84, which is around this point. So that's what I'm looking for. This pair obviously has been moving down, and I believe will continue to move down. Most likely it will fill the gap. We could be looking at a reversal occurring. I don't think so, but it's definitely possible. This pair has been moving lower for a good amount of time now, so we could see some profit taking there. Now the Swiss, I'm looking for this session to be between 120 or 112.18 and 110.39 on the low side. This pair also gapped up on the open, but as you can see has already filled the gap. It filled it very quickly and just moved down. This particular gap was roughly, let's see here, about 30 pips or so, maybe a little bit more, and that was the smallest of the four gaps that occurred at the open of this session. So it's pretty interesting. Definitely have to keep an eye on it to see how these gaps are going to affect the market. Now Friday we had the non-farm payroll come out for August, worse than expected at negative 84K, and just bad news overall. Looking forward though into Monday's session, we have the pound has their retail sales monitoring for August being released at 7:01 p.m. It's kind of an odd time, but that's what it has scheduled. No consensus at this time for that particular news announcement. Now we do have the Australian retail sales for July being released at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. For that news announcement, there's no consensus either as of yet. So a little bit of news going on for Monday session, Sunday into Monday session, but nothing too significant. But definitely keep an eye on the markets as it, when you get large gaps like this, definitely something's going on. So keep an eye on it, and there's lots of room to profit during these times. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Until tomorrow, good trading.